started questioning every new ache, curve, hot flush, and 3 a.m. wake up, your body isn't betraying you, she's talking. The real question is, do you know how to listen? This is not just another menopause podcast telling you what to do, what to cut out, or which supplements to take. There's already incredible information emerging in that space, and we don't need to regurgitate it. This episode is for the women who feel called to go deeper. It's for you if you want to feel more empowered and more in tune with your body. If you sense that midlife isn't just something to survive, but a turning point, an invitation to reclaim your truth, your purpose, and your wellness, and begin a robust new chapter of your next best life. Welcome to the Accidental Rebel, Soul Truths for Women in Midlife. I'm Jen, philosopher, truth seeker, and accidental rebel, and someone who has absolutely learned that it pays to slow down, tune in, and follow the path less traveled if you want to feel alive, vibrant, and aligned in your body again. Today is episode 4, Health Sovereignty, Trusting Your Body Again in Midlife. In this episode today, I want to talk about something most of us were never really taught, how to trust our own bodies in midlife. If you've been noticing changes in how you feel, how you sleep, how your body looks or moves, and you've quietly wondered, is this just aging? Is this menopause? Is my body betraying me? And who on earth do I listen to? And what actually applies to me? You are absolutely not alone. We live in a world that tells us menopause is a crisis to be medicated and quickly. Doctors and experts always know best. And youthful, thin, and productive is the only acceptable setting. But here's what I've learned, both personally and with my own clients. Menopause is not the end. Your body is not your enemy, and you absolutely can trust her again if you know how to listen. Somewhere along the way, most of us were conditioned to override, numb, or doubt our own inner wisdom. And today we're going to start undoing that. We'll explore how to reclaim trust in your body during midlife and menopause, how to weed out the noise and find the guidance that's actually right for you, and what to do when it feels like the body has gone completely off script. Because there's a piece of software that trumps all the algorithms and advice out there: your own body's wisdom. And midlife is the perfect time to reinstall it. Program Health Sovereignty. Now, when I say health sovereignty, I don't mean ignoring doctors, DIYing your health off random TikTok advice, or pretending that you can meditate your way out of serious illness. Health sovereignty for me is this: I will absolutely seek support from professionals, but I will not abandon my own body's wisdom in the process. It's remembering that you live in this body 24/7, that you notice patterns that no one else sees, and that you can feel the yes and the no long before a test result comes back. Your body is not the enemy. She is your most intimate guide. As you listen today, just notice if any parts of you think, oh, I've been handing my power away here. Remember, no judgment, just gentle awareness. In my mid-40s, I had a rollerblading accident. It was pretty spectacular, actually. I even had someone walk past and said, my goodness, that was the most spectacular fall I'd ever seen. Great for them, not so great for me. I had hurt all the right side of my body, in my shoulder, my backside, my leg, my hip. All sorts of things were going on. And I had back and shoulder pain that hung around for months. And I did all the right things. I got an MRI, x-rays, physio. I even had to end up taking strong painkillers when I really couldn't cope with the pain. But the pain didn't just hang around. It felt like it was spreading. My shoulder felt chronic. My whole body started to ache. Coincidentally, at the same time, my periods became irregular. My sleep fell apart. I was getting headaches, fatigue, like all of it. And the scans just came back fine. Puzzled. My doctor looked at me and just said, I think it's just in your head. Maybe you should journal about it. Now, I love journaling and I recommend it to my clients, but this landed differently. I wasn't being invited into deeper self-understanding. I was being dismissed. At least that's how I felt it was. The message I heard was, we don't know what's wrong, so it must be you. Years later, I discovered something that my doctor at the time didn't mention. Musculoskeletal pain, muscle and joint pain, inflammation, even frozen shoulder can all be menopause symptoms. They can be supported with HRT, targeted supplementation, nutrition, exercise, and a more holistic midlife plan. Needless to say, I'm on top of it now, but that experience became a turning point for me. It woke up a very quiet, very firm midlife rebellion in me. A part that said, no more dismissing women's pain, no more being told it's all in our heads, no more outsourcing every decision and abandoning our own knowing. Menopause, I've discovered, is actually an ideal moment to reclaim authority over your body and your mind. To say, I will learn from you, I will listen to you, and I will be an equal partner in my care. If you've ever been told it's just stress or you're overreacting, I want you to know you are not crazy. You're part of a long line of women whose bodies have been misunderstood. And the great news, that's changing. So how did we get here? Part of the answer is culture. From a young age, so many of us were taught that our value equals thinness, prettiness, desirability, that our cycle equals inconvenience, that our hunger, our tiredness, and our emotions equal problems to be managed. Billions are made off women feeling not enough. The anti-aging everything, fix your body fast diets, the quick fix pills and programs, all of it keeps us focused on the surface and disconnected from the deeper intelligence of our bodies. Then there's history. Women's bodies controlled, shamed, punished. Independent, sexually autonomous women were literally labelled as witches. Unmarried pregnant women shamed and coerced into closed adoptions. Generations who learned your body is not to be trusted and your choices are not your own. Those aren't just dusty stories in a book. They literally shaped how our mothers, our grandmothers, and we ourselves relate to our bodies. We relate it with suspicion, shame, and unfortunately this disconnection. And modern medicine, brought into the mix, is a system that often treats disease as an enemy to be attacked. Pain is something to be obliterated rather than understood. And women's symptoms are often minimized, misdiagnosed, or medicated without deeper inquiry. And is it any wonder that by midlife, so many of us feel confused, disconnected, and honestly a bit scared of what our bodies might do next? If you found yourself thinking, I don't even know my body anymore, I want you to please hear this. That disconnection was learned. If it was learned, it can also be unlearned. In many traditional cultures, if you go to a healer with illness or sadness, one of the first questions they often ask is, when did you stop dancing? I ask this of my clients sometimes, and often they go quiet firstly, and you can see the memories flicker. And often comments come out like, when I was shamed at a school disco, or after an injury, or when someone commented on my body, or something like when life got serious and busy and there just wasn't time. For me, I stopped dancing around puberty. I'd been in a dance show group. I was choreographing routines with girlfriends, tap dancing all around shopping centres, on trains, anywhere I could. I loved feeling the music move through me, through my hips, my shoulders, my feet. I just loved that feeling of connection with my body and dancing and moving. And then I injured my lower back in a dance class. And at the same time, I was actually falling behind at school, and I was internalizing this message: to be valuable, I have to do well. I have to get a good job. I have to be successful. So dancing fell away. My body became essentially a vehicle for productivity. Welcome to the world of capitalism. Fast forward many years. I had a corporate career, family. I was experiencing overwhelm, burnout, the classic, is this it moment? And I happened to walk into a Zumba class at my local gym. Something wild happened. All that joy and passion and rhythm came flooding back. I felt happy, alive, free in my body. So much so that I ended up training as a Zumba instructor and later as a fitness instructor because I wanted other women to feel that too. When we stop dancing, whatever dancing means for you, we disconnect from the beauty and the mystery of our bodies. We lose the lived experience of I am more than a machine, and our energy stagnates. Because this is the thing, healing is movement. Dis-ease is inertia. When we move gently, joyfully, honestly, we release, we let go, we shift emotion, change our vibration, and come back into connection. This is not about becoming a gym person. It's about finding again the movements that make you feel like you. Let's sit with that question for a moment. When did you stop dancing? Or think of it another way. When did you stop moving in ways that felt joyful and true for you? Whatever comes up first is enough. What did you decide about yourself then? Do you crave or miss wild, joyful abandon? Let your body become your guide. I love this quote by Annette Nuntal, author of The Body is the Barometer of the Soul. She says, your body tells you what you need to know and learn. It is the barometer of your soul. Our bodies are like intelligent pieces of software programmed by our soul to communicate with us. They flag imbalance, they highlight misalignment, and they nudge us away from what harms and towards what heals. At a menopause retreat I went on, and I talk about this more in episode 1 on the benefits of a menopause retreat. You can check it out and I'll pop the details in the show notes below. But at this menopause retreat, I had this curious experience. I walked into a manifesting workshop and suddenly my throat just went tickly. You know those annoying times when you're not sick, you just start getting this tickle, and then before too long, you're starting to cough. And in this particular manifesting workshop, every time the room went quiet, I needed to cough. It was mortifying. And then during a journaling experience, our guide asked, what is your body trying to tell you right now? Just generally to the group. But as clear as day, my inner voice said to me, use your voice, speak up, share in connection with others. It was truly one of those pivotal nudges that brought me back to writing blogs and creating this podcast to share my truth more openly. My throat wasn't just being annoying in that workshop, it was delivering a message. And midlife is the perfect time to reconnect with this internal software, this internal messenger. Not to bypass any real medical care, please don't hear that, but to add your body's wisdom back into the equation. In my blog that goes with this episode, it's called Health Sovereignty, Trusting Your Body Again in Midlife, I share a few specific practices that you can try, including a detailed body conscious connection meditation. There's also a mirror exercise and journaling prompts. And I'll pop the link for that blog in the show notes if you would like to explore those more deeply in your own time. But here I just want to offer 2 simple starting points. Firstly, and I do this once a day, it's a tiny daily body check-in. So maybe as you wake up or before you fall asleep, you place your hand on your heart or your belly. And you can do this with me now if you like. So place perhaps your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your belly. And you can close your eyes and say, body, how are you today? And just wait to see what arises in that moment. What do you need more of right now? And what's the first thing that comes up? Either it might be something that you hear, or a word, or a feeling, or a knowing. And then you can ask yourself, what do you need less of? Again, whatever rises to the surface is enough and true. And then notice things like a lump in your throat. Maybe it's words unspoken. A tight chest. Maybe it's anxiety or a lack of rest. You might need to rest more. Or if you're feeling heavy legs, maybe you're feeling exhausted and you need a gentler pace. You don't have to fix everything. These moments are just to acknowledge and see if you can honor one small need for your body every day. Another practice is what I would call a rebellious health question. Next time you're given health advice from a professional, a podcast, or a well-meaning friend, pause and quietly ask yourself, is this true? Is this true for me and my body? If yes, beautiful, follow it. If not, or if it's a maybe, that's your cue to ask more questions, seek a second opinion, or adapt the advice so it fits you and your reality. If you're thinking, I'd love some concrete steps, I've laid out practices in my blog that I've written that's connected to this episode, and you'll find the link waiting for you in the show notes. There's some more structured practices like the full body conscious meditation, there's the mirror body detective exercise, and some journal prompts that might just help you reconnect with your body and what it's trying to tell you. I want to be really clear here. I am a big believer in good medicine. My own care now includes a menopause specialist, HRT that really works for my body, specific supplementation. I really do focus on movement and rituals that support my vitality and my body. And I have my own soul coach to help me decode the deeper layers that my body is trying to tell me. Health sovereignty doesn't mean doing it all alone. It means I'm at the center of my health team. I value my professional insight and my own lived experience. One of the most powerful examples of this in my life actually came much earlier, when I became a new mum. I did what many of us do. I read all the books, I attended all the seminars, absorbed all the expert advice on sleep, feeding, routines, vaccines, milestones. After the first couple of months, I really struggled to get my son to sleep on his own during the day. He'd be okay in my arms or the baby Bjorn, but I couldn't get him to go down for a nap in his cot on his own. Not even in a pram walking around the streets. He was only happy next to me. And all the expert advice spoke of control crying, allowing your baby time to settle themselves in a room in their cot on their own. I tried all the ways and all the advice, solicited and unsolicited, but nothing worked. In fact, My heart literally felt like it was breaking every time those little lungs screamed out for what felt like eternity. It felt wrong to me. It felt cruel, and even more so, I felt this would scar us both if I kept it up. So I sat in his room on the feeding chair with him in my arms, and I asked him, and I asked myself, what do you need from me? And looking down at him in my arms, quiet, happy, sleeping, after I'd been rocking him to sleep in my arms for about 20 minutes, the answer was clear. Rock him to sleep. What harm is that for him to feel safe, loved, in my arms? But the warnings were loud. If you don't persist, he'll never be independent. You'll create a problem child. You're just being weak. Eventually, I listened to that quieter inner voice. I found a baby whisperer who confirmed what my body already knew, that rocking him to sleep was not only okay, it was natural. We reworked our routine, and I embraced this beautiful, sacred time of holding him until he drifted off. Today, I'm happy to say he's a strong, independent, well-adjusted young man. Phew! And we have an incredibly close bond. Years later, hearing Dr. Gabor Mate describe that crying it out methods are a form of developmental trauma only validated what my body had screamed back then. My point is, the experts had one answer, my body had another. Health sovereignty is being willing to hear both and then choose what truly aligns. So next time you're facing a health decision, you might ask, what does the research say? What does my practitioner suggest? And also, what does my body say? What does my intuition say? Because we are not machines. We're humans with a history, a nervous system, and a soul. And your midlife body is not failing you. She's inviting you into a new level of partnership. As we close, I'd love to leave you with a few questions to sit with. Where have you been overriding your body's signals in order to be good or keep up? Is there a symptom that keeps returning? And if it were a messenger instead of an enemy, what might it be trying to say? And what is one small compassionate choice that you can make this week that says to your body, I'm listening now? If this episode has stirred something in you, a longing to trust yourself again, to feel safer in your own skin, support can help. To gently guide you back to your own inner wisdom, I've created a free soul alignment meditation. It's designed to calm your nervous system, bring you back into your body with kindness, and help you hear your own guidance beneath all the noise. And if you'd like more personalized support with your midlife transition, body, soul, purpose, all of it, you're warmly invited to book a complimentary 30-minute Soul Mastery Discovery call with me. We can explore what's happening in your body and life right now, and where you feel disconnected or unsure, and how we might walk together as you reclaim your health sovereignty and your soulful truth in this amazing season of your life. All the details and the links to the meditation, the discovery call, and the full blog article are in the show notes below. Thank you for listening and for being willing to trust your body again. This is the Accidental Rebel, Soul Truths for Women in Midlife. And until next time, be gentle with yourself and maybe ask your body today, what are you trying to tell me? And see what she says.